You saw a movie today. Let's jump to that. What
Yeah,
did you see today, dear?
I got to see a movie. Well, I got to see Women Talking,
Mm-hmm.
and I really had no idea what it was about, other than it was about women talking about things, and I thought it was maybe in the 1800s or something. I wasn't sure. I didn't know anything about it other than Sarah Polly. It's her movie.
I thought it was in the 19th century.
No, it's not.
When is it? When does it take
It
place?
could be today.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure. It doesn't. I'm not really sure when it is.
I'll take
But
your word. I didn't see it. You did.
It's well. If you want it, totally recommend watching it. I'm gonna do some spoilers here in order to explain what it's about.
It's an awards movie. Came out last year. Go ahead and spoil it.
Okay.
Spoilers,
So,
everyone.
what it's about is it's about a colony, like a really strict religious colony, like a Hutterite colony, or not a Mennonite colony, but like a Hutterite or something like that. And they're all isolated, and the women in this colony, it's not like normal colonies that we'd be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a cult colony, and the women are not educated, and they don't know anything. They're not allowed to go to school. They don't even know where they are on the map. They have no idea. All they know is the colony where they live.
The movie info says in 2010, the women of an isolated religious community grapple with reconciling brutal reality of their faith. So
Okay.
this is 13 years ago.
It's like in the modern times.
But they're in an isolated religious community.
Yeah, you can tell by their building materials.
Do they
and
have
such that
phones?
oh gosh, no. This is a real colony.
So they're like Amish.
Yeah, but it's not
Gotcha.
Amish. No, that would be insulting to Amish. This is like a separate religious type of thing. It's a based on God religion, but it's the problem. This is the problem. It's their own religion that they've created, and in this religion, it's a bit like the Taliban.
Ooh.
It's like the Taliban meets the Hutterites.
So women have no rights.
And
women don't go to school, that kind of stuff.
And like as they explain in the movie, men won't even open a curtain. They won't do anything.
They're lazy.
Won't pass the salt or nothing. Yeah.
They make the women do everything.
The women do everything, and they're very capable.
So the women are in servitude in this weird cult community.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
The weird thing is that they, number one, tell them that if they, basically, it's an awful thing that happens. Basically, for years and years and years, the men have been drugging, well, some of the men have been drugging the women with cow tranquilizer, and they've been abusing them at night. And
because
so they
tranquilizing them. Okay,
they describe it as hovering over their bodies, but they don't even know what their parts of their bodies are called. They can't even describe what's happened to them because in their language and they don't even know. Like they don't know what sex is or anything. They can't use that word.
What language are they speaking?
They speak English, but women have not been taught anything. Okay, but these women are very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so basically the men have been coming into their rooms and abusing them even when they're young, and they all get pregnant with having babies. They don't know who really is the father. The men have been beating the women as well.
Sounds terrible.
And they have to all account to the elders who are the elderly men, and they teach the boys to do this. So it's an awful situation.
And they made a movie about this?
Yes.
Wow, that's
but the movie's not
terrible.
about that. The movie starts. It basically says it's basically starts with the end. It starts with it happening and one of the men getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
Because the women were told they were hallucinating, or it was ghosts, or it was the devil, or it was in their own mind that this was happening. Because they were tranquilized all the time. They didn't really know. They knew something bad was happening, but they couldn't really say. And they told them that it was against God to say that they would never think it was men. But then one of the men got caught.
Okay.
And they identified him, and he said who all the others that were doing it.
Which is everyone.
Not everyone, but a lot of them. So basically, the cops from the community came in and they penned them all up, and they arrested them all and took them to town.
Mm-hmm.
So now the rest of the men, other than one, have now gone to town to bail out the other men. And they have 2 days to decide what they're going to do.
these cops, are they part of this religious community, or are
No.
they regular cops?
Regular cops
Gotcha.
have come to arrest. They called them in somehow. We don't see that part. All we see is the men penned up in like animals in a corral. So the men have been taken. The rest of the men went to bail them out in town, and they're gone for a couple of days. So all that's left is the women, the children, the boys, young boys as well, and one man, the teacher, are left there. And the women have to make a decision. So they vote. Are they going to stay and leave, pretend like nothing happened? Are they going to fight, or are they going to leave? So they get to vote. So they all put an X. None of them can read or write. So they all put an X underneath the pictures of what they want to do. And of course, there's a tie. There's a tie between staying and fighting or leaving. That's the tie. So they've assigned 3 families to decide for everyone.
Do the
To hash
women
it
get
out.
to vote in
It's
this?
the women that are doing this. The men are all gone.
Okay.
The women have come up with this. Do they stay? Do they fight? Do they leave? So these are the 3 choices. So it was sort of tied between fighting or leaving, but yet still there's other people in there. So these 3 groups of women have to discuss it, what they want to do. And the teacher stays behind. Now the teacher is the only man basically in the thing. And he had left for many years and went to university. He came back, but his mother had killed herself because of this problem. Because she tried to speak out against it, and then no one would stand with her, and she killed herself.
This sounds depressing.
So it's definitely not. It's a serious movie.
Yeah,
Anyway.
this is one of those awards movies.
No, it's a really
And
good movie.
no, this came out at the end of last year, and
I
it's
don't
one of
care.
the awards movies.
It's not
I
a
chose
superhero
not to
movie.
go see this because all the other awards movies that came out that I've seen, I didn't enjoy them at all. So I said, I'm not going to go watch this. And based on what you're telling me, I don't want to watch something like this about women being tranquilized and date raped
don't
and then
see
having
that
this
part of
weird
it.
cult community.
That's not part of it. It's about the women talking about what they want to do.
Also, bad title. And not because it's women talking. I don't want to see a movie titled Men Talking either.
Anyway, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and it has some great acting in it. I thought it was really terrific because I think all women can relate to this depending on their situation.
And Claire Foy's in this.
Yeah, she's in it. Frances McDormand is in it a little bit. She actually plays a character who wants to stay, and she gets out of it. She leaves.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really good. They're really good. Sheila McCarthy is in it. She was with Sarah Polley when they did Road to Avonlea.
Mm-hmm.
She's in it. She has the only comedic parts in it about her horses. It's funny. Anyway, so yeah, in the end, they leave. They
Okay.
pack up everything, and they don't even take the teacher with them, even though he's in love with one of the women. She leaves them. They all leave.
All the women leave.
All the women.
And they go live in regular
We
society.
don't know where they go. They all
Sure.
leave
Yeah, credits, we're leaving.
with everything. But the discussion about it is something else. It's about forgiveness. It's about, first they think if they leave that basically they're testing facts out. It's like a facts tester. Like, if we leave, will we not go to heaven? This is because they're told that if they don't forgive the men, they won't go to heaven. But they get over that hurdle. Like, it's all hurdles in the discussion, basically. And one of them, she just wants to kill them all. She already tried.
Vengeance.
And the sheriff had to pull her back. Yeah, she wants to kill them all. So there, in the end, she basically leaves because they're like, we don't want you to stay and be a murderer, so you should come with us. So it's all a debate. It's like Plato or something. This is a whole big debate over all these different issues. Anyway, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, we're
I
running a little bit
definitely
late.
liked it.
What kind of rating would you give it? Best movie or worst movie
I
ever?
don't do that rating. I'd say I give it a 93. I really liked it.
93. Okay.
It only
'cause
takes
you really
place in one
enjoyed
little
it.
place in a couple little rooms. Yeah.
I tried to look up what the budget is for this movie,
Not much.
and I'm getting conflicting reports. I don't know. It has some big names in it. It says, according to BoxOfficeMojo.com, it said it made $4.5 million worldwide. So this really didn't make any money. I don't know what the budget is.
It was filmed. It looks like on a farm in Ontario. I'm assuming.
This, based on what you told me, I'm glad I didn't go see it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Christine really liked it, so it spoke to her because about women standing up, which is a good thing. However, I don't want to see a movie about women being subjugated.
Well, I saw my own story reflected in it, and I think a lot of women could as well.
No,
basically, yeah, and I love it in the end because we always see these movies with the couple that has to be together, but no, she leaves for her own benefit and for her child's benefit. Freak them in.
That's what Christine thinks on Women Talking, which came out at the end of last year. What do you guys think on this movie, Women Talking? Let us know down in the comments below. Did anyone else see this? I don't think many people have seen it because they ain't making any money.
I totally recommend it. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, you just spoiled it for everyone, so they don't have to go see it.
I didn't really say what happened because you have to watch it. It's really, there's a lot of debate.
We have some...